Right, so game week 4 of Premier League predictions. I did alright last week. I said Everton would draw 1-0 with Nottingham Forest, and I also said Arsenal would beat Bournemouth 3-0. So that's 2 games right, but I also said Liverpool would beat Man United 6-0, and they ended up losing 2-1. For Newcastle Man City, I did say there would be an upset. Did not quite get the score prediction right. What a game that is. And now we get into game week 4. If you do enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. Southampton versus Man United. I said Man United will lose 6-0 last week. That aged terribly. Something I didn't think I'd be saying for a very long time. It was a brilliant performance from Manchester United. Now they have new boy Casemiro, who I expect to make his debut tomorrow. Undoubtedly still one of the best midfielders on the planet. Whilst with Southampton, they picked up their first 3 points of the season against Leicester in a 2-1 win at the King Power. Southampton are at home, that gives them a bit of an advantage, and they have made a few decent signings, but I don't think it's quite going to compare to Man United. Lisandro Martinez was brilliant for Man United on Monday versus Liverpool, but the main way to get him is playing a big, strong striker. Che Adams is not that. So I'm going to say Man United will pick up all 3 points versus Southampton with a 2-1 win. James Ward-Prowse will open the scoring with a penalty. Jadon Sancho will bag the equaliser, and then a late winner from Anthony Martial to pick up Man United all 3 points. Chelsea versus Leicester. Both of these teams still need signings, despite the fact the window closes in just a matter of days. This will be Wesley Fofana's audition shape as a Chelsea player, as they want him for £80 million. If I was Chelsea, I'd be staying away. Not because I don't think Fofana's a good player, it's because, well, the last Leicester centre-back that was sold for £80 million didn't turn out very well. But no, Fofana for £80 million is a little bit overpriced, but he is quality. What is overpriced is Anthony Gordon for £60 million. That is a piss take. For a professional athlete, he has the upper body strength of a cabbage. The man goes down more than John Terry. There's a lot of pressure on Brendan Rodgers, so a bad result could see him sacked, though I do think that would be a little bit unfair. Unfortunately for Brendan Rodgers, I do think it's going to be a negative result. Chelsea will win 2-0 thanks to goals from Raheem Sterling and a penalty from Jorginho. Brighton versus Leeds, and what a performance last week from Leeds. Beating Chelsea 3-0. They were absolutely fantastic. People claim Rodrigo was a flop. You probably would have considered that before this season, but as it stands, he's the Premier League's top goal scorer. Whilst with Brighton, they somehow managed to lose their 2 best players in Cucurella and Basuma, and yet still probably be the same side, if not better. Graham Potter was really showing off the fact he went to Hogwarts because he is working magic. That joke is really overused, I'm sorry. I'm going to say both teams are going to share the points, and their winning streaks will come to an end in a 1-1 draw. Sinistero will open the scoring for Leeds, with Trossard bagging a late equaliser. Man City versus Crystal Palace. I'm going to be straight out with this one. Man City are going to lose. It's just how it is. They always lose to Crystal Palace at the Etihad. Yes, Conor Gallagher is gone, but it's just tradition for Man City to lose to Crystal Palace at the Etihad. It's just the way the Premier League goes. Crystal Palace and Spurs are Pep Guardiola's bogey teams in his time in the Premier League, and well, history will repeat itself. Crystal Palace will win 2-0 thanks to the goal from Eze and a goal from Wilfred Zaha. Come back to this video when I look like a genius. Please don't come back to this video when I look like an idiot. Liverpool versus Bournemouth, and surely this is the week Liverpool finally pick up their first 3 points of the season. I mean, Jesus Christ, Everton are only 1 point behind them at this point in time. We're all laughing at Man United, but well, they're ahead of Liverpool in the table. It's just absolutely embarrassing. Liverpool desperately need a midfielder. They can't be relying on James Milner and Jordan Henderson. Christ above, they were outplayed by Scott McTominay. But now, surely, at home to Bournemouth, you'd expect Liverpool will pick up the win. I'm going to stick with what I said at the start of the season. Bournemouth will lose every single game 3-0. It was right last week versus Arsenal, and it will be right this week versus Liverpool. Hopefully, when the lineups come out, we get to see that beautiful midfield duo of Harvey Elliott and Fabio Carvalho. If I have to watch James Milner and Jordan Henderson again, I genuinely will end it all. Carvalho will score, Salah will score, and then Lucho Diaz will finish it off with the third. Everton versus Brentford. Both these teams I said would get relegated. Brentford, I'm probably going to end up taking it back. Everton, I'm still not sure. I mean, they don't have a striker as Calvert-Lewin's not fit. Though it looks like they'll bring in Neil Maupay, who isn't the most reliable source of goals. But seeing as Everton will be playing with 3 wingers as they haven't got a striker just yet, I reckon they'll lose this game by 2 goals, and Brentford will win this game 2-0. Thanks to 1 from Ivan Toney and a first Premier League goal from Mikael Damsgaard. Arsenal versus Fulham. This time last year, Arsenal were bottom of the Premier League. They lost their first 3 Premier League matches. Now we're in a world where Arsenal are top of the league after winning their first 3 Premier League matches. Maybe it's because of how inspiring Mikel Arteta's team talks are. We saw that in All or Nothing. Maybe it's the fact they now are drinking Prime. Ship me over a few of those bottles. I'll be posting 6 videos a day and getting all my predictions right. Fulham have been good since returning to the Premier League, but I do think it's going to be 4 wins from 4 for Arsenal and a 3-1 win. Gabriel Jesus is going to continue his insane form by bagging a brace. Martin Odegaard will score a free kick. Yes, I'm going to continue calling that. And Alexander Mitrovic will bring one back, but it just won't be enough. Let me know in the comments, are Arsenal going to win the Premier League? Well, probably not, but if you believe in Jesus or Mohammed, I mean, maybe there's a chance. Wolves versus Newcastle, and last week Newcastle were absolutely amazing. Eddie Howe got his tactics perfectly right to get a draw versus Man City, and what a game it was. 3-3, so much action. Despite the fact Callum Wilson played well in that game, Eddie Howe has decided to splash the cash. £59 million forward, Alexander Isak, what a signing. I don't think he'll quite be ready for this game, but it doesn't matter. Nathan Collins would have pocketed him anyway. Wolves lost last week to Spurs, a game you'd expect them to lose, so it's not too bad. I think they'll pick up points this week, and I think they'll pick up a point in a 0-0 draw. I hate to be boring, but look, it's predictions. I'm not here for excitement. Aston Villa versus West Ham. Both teams desperately need a win. Fans are beginning to turn on Steven Gerrard, while David Moyes' West Ham are bottom of the Premier League. It's really just not been a good start to the season for Steven Gerrard. 2 losses, 1 win. It's not the worst record, but the football isn't great. You can't really identify a philosophy. The amount of money Gerrard spent, the amount of players he's brought in, the quality of players already at the club, you should really be expecting better results. And I wouldn't be surprised if Gerrard's sacked by Christmas. Whilst with West Ham, David Moyes did confirm they made a bid for Paqueta. That could be a game-changing signing. It would be amazing. He's a fantastic footballer and not a bad dancer either. West Ham have 0 points so far this season, bottom of the Premier League, and it's sadly going to stay that way. I reckon because Steven Gerrard's under pressure, he's going to pick up all 3 points at Villa Park. It'll be a 2-0 win with Ollie Watkins and Leon Bailey scoring. Nottingham Forest versus Spurs, the skinny badge derby. Nottingham Forest have made too many signings to count them in Jesus Christ. They make a sign practically every day. Come deadline day, Neymar will probably be a Nottingham Forest player. Whilst with Spurs, they did all their business early, and well, there were a lot of good signings. I'm going to say Spurs will win 1-0 just like they did last week versus Wolves. Nottingham Forest's winning streak will come to an end and Spurs will pick up yet another 3 points. I'm going to say Eric Dyer will score the goal because I only just realised I never say defender will score goals. It's just a safer option to say the striker will. So that was my Game Week 4 Premier League predictions. So far I'm averaging about 2 or 3 right every single week, so it's not too bad. Let me know in the comments your predictions for every single game week, and whoever gets the most right, I will shout you out in the next Game Week predictions. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like. Let's try and get 15 likes on this video. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next one.